This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, Demco, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana. I'm Gary Risponi. I'm a cold Gary Risponi. You know, we've been wondering where the cold weather is. Well, it finally got here, and we got some more coming this week. So if you're planning to get my fishing report and go out, you better check the weather, better check the wind, because we even got some rainy days coming. So check it out. That cold weather's here. It's been very good for some of the hunters, especially deer hunters and other people. They fast winding down, so stay abreast. Got to keep up with what's going on. You got your Sportsman magazine, you got your Bayou, Martian Bayou magazine, you got our TV show, and then anytime you want any information, you go to the Louisiana Department of Wildlife Fisheries website. You can get all the information you want. So I want to remind y'all that at the end of the show, I'm going to remind you one more time. I got a few duck reports. The fishing reports are still coming from the same place I told you last week. I don't think there were a lot of men out. I didn't get the calls I normally get or the pictures, but I got a few. We're going to visit Chaz right now. He's the hottest thing in the world. The Pontchartrain Basin is just the hottest place right now. The comebacks, I'll tell you in the fishing report, are coming back from Leeville. So stay tuned. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana from Superior Bait and Tackle. Not a better place in the world to find what you need or get a fishing report. Keep watching. We'll be back.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
right, guys, we got something new and exciting to show you guys at matrixshad.com. Got a little nice green trout here on our brand new GoldenEye. We're using the X-Shad, and we made this hook to just really do a better job of holding lures on, as it has a corkscrew on it, and you just thread your lures on to this jig head here, and it is virtually impossible for them to rip off. The lure is going to tear up before it pulls down off the jig head, and you're just going to be able to catch endless amounts of fish on one lure, and just a more efficient product here. This is a great product for the X-Shad. It just looks like a real fish. I mean, you can see it right there. It's awesome. And the X-Shad's got the belly slit, which we have to do to be able to paint these correctly. And you can rig them weedless if you want. So it just gives it less plastic for a jig head to hold on to. So we designed these jig heads that, you know, it really does a good job of making the X-Shad more durable, as these things are pretty expensive due to their very delicate paint jobs. And it's just an awesome hook, and it really brings that lure to life. The bass love it. The redfish love it. The trout are gonna love it. This is our first day testing them out, or using them. We tested them. We just got our big giant shipment of mass producing them in, and we're about to have some fun. All right, there's a nice little green trout, AKA the largemouth bass. Got plenty of these in Louisiana. Look at our setup here though. We're in a bayou, and you can see how we're approaching a flat, duck pond, call it what you want. That is like the greatest thing you can look for when you're fishing in the wintertime. Got that on that new GoldenEye, call that the screw lock, and the X-Shad. But that's what you want to look for, is where a very shallow flat meets a deep bayou in the winter. They love those spots. We go over that all the time on Dockside TV. Yeah, he's flashing, baby, shake that head. All the way to the boat we go. So right now we're looking at water temperatures. They dropped down a good bit. Just had a really good front come through, blow the water out. This has been a very abnormal, warm, hot winter. We just had a huge, not a huge front, but a solid front come through, blow that water out. So we're off the intercoastal now. You've been seeing us fishing a lot of bass in the ditches. Now we're in an area that has a little bit better potential to run into the redfish, but still predominantly looks like bass is taking over this area. The water's beautiful, and we're gonna load the box up today. Nice little chunk. The reason I'm up here high right now is because we're coming across this flat. The water's gin clear. And I just wanted to make sure I didn't see any redfish cruising this flat, because when you're fishing this style of fishing deep in the marsh, you're gonna have deep little bayous, you're gonna have turns where it's flatty. It's good to be up high, looking at, when you come across a flat or near a flat, be looking into the water. A lot of times you'll see a redfish cruising the bank. That's why I'm up here on the stand right now. Got good sunshine, as you can see. Water's gin clear, beautiful, and a lot of times you'll see some redfish schools cruising by while you cast out towards the middle for the bass.
Oh,
yeah.
He snapped though.
Sam missed his, trying to flip in like a 6 or 7 pounder. I would have used the net. If you can see, we're in a ditch right here again, as that's what we're doing today, is ditch fishing. But this ditch is extremely shallow. This is a skinny one. This thing's probably a foot and a half. And we were coming down it, didn't really see much. And then Sam's caught 2 at the beginning of it. And then right there was a school of like 8. We doubled up. Sam broke his off trying to flip a fish that was a little bit out of the range of flipping. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. There we go. But, you know, it's pretty cold right now, but like I said, it's been a very, very warm winter. I got him choked at, he's got that X-shad choked. That GoldenEye jig head did his job, the new screw lock. But what we were doing here, so we've been fishing some of the ditches when they're deeper. It's got bass in it mostly. And when we come into the parts of these ditches that are shallower, that's where it's redfish. That's why we talked about getting up on the stand where you can see them. Look at that wake right there. I'm looking at fish right now. But you can see them. This thing's only like 2 foot deep. We doubled up. Sam caught 2 or 3 right when we entered this area. Right when I noticed that it was shallow and I could start seeing a few. And this thing's got a lot of reds. The problem is in the wintertime, that water's real clean. It's real clean right now. They don't really float real high like they do in the summer, so they're really hard to sight fish. I like it when it's really, really cold, and they'll get into those deeper ditches that we were fishing, and then it's like shooting fish in a barrel. But we're doing pretty good with it, having a great day with this. Catching bass and reds with the new GoldenEye screw lock. Got him. Did y'all see? Oh, I missed him. I got him right. I had him right there next to the boat. We're kind of beached right now. As we just landed one. Look at all of those clouds. That's all fish coming through, getting spooked. And since we just sat here and talked to you guys for a while, and as we're talking, these fish are just coming by and they're kicking up all of that dust. You saw I just cast it like that close. I could just barely see the tail in one just because it was so cloudy from them. And I mean, I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit and this is like a little interstate they're coming through. I mean, we've probably seen 30 reds in the last 10 minutes just come through this little bitty skitty section. I don't know if ducks and reds go hand in hand on what areas they like to be in, but we just came across the biggest flock of ducks I just about ever seen, and there's schools of reds everywhere right here. All right, another nice red. I'm shocked how shallow these reds want to be. We had a few Arctic blasts come through. These reds they get into the main bayous or ditches. These reds would get a little bit deeper and they're just a lot easier to catch as they can't feel the boat and see you in there. They're doing just what they're supposed to do in the winter. They're ganging up. But since it's been such a mild winter, they're still wanting to be shallow. I mean, this pond thing that we're in here, I'm barely been able to float this. I'm gonna need to be careful with this tide falling that we don't get hung up here. That's another thing you wanna do. Be mindful of a couple of things when you're going deep in the marsh in the winter. Tides are low, so if you got a hard falling tide and you're pressing back because you're seeing red, just be careful because you don't want that water to fall out on you and get stuck. And secondly, I like to fish a marsh in the middle of the day. That way, like I said before, with all of these gazillion ducks we just saw, I'm sure somebody's been hunting out here in the mornings. So maybe not today because they were just sitting there relaxing, but beautiful, beautiful redfish all over these shallow flats. Another green trout for the box. I'm using the glass minnow X-shad, and I just put the X-shad on just to show you how durable it is on this new GoldenEye hook. Sam's using the Purple Haze Vortex. Both are doing damage. I'm really excited about this new hook right here, and it's going to be a really nice addition to the Matrix Shad selection, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's going to hold on to your lures a lot longer, making it a heck of a lot harder for the fish to tear the lure up. You're going to be able to fish all day with one lure now. And what we're doing is just simply trying to find real narrow, deep ditches that are close to real shallow duck ponds. And we're just dribbling this new GoldenEye, just bouncing it off the bottom. You could use a 1/4 ounce, 5/16, 3/8 doing this, just depending on the depth of the bayou. All of them will work fine. You just want to let it be able to get back down to the bottom. After a couple little pops, pop, 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 reeling your slack, pause, let it get back down to the bottom and settle. Keep on with that same retrieve. Same poncha-train pop for the trout. Very, very effective for wintertime ditch fishing for bass and reds. Like that. Just like that. Another nice marsh chunk. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dockside TV, showcasing a brand new GoldenEye screw lock jig head. You'll be getting these jig heads in your monthly bait box. You're also going to be getting the Vortex Purple Haze that Sam was using all day, doing very well with. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dockside TV. Check out all our marsh fishing episodes.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
As members of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and welcome back to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report and the News Report. So I want to thank Well, Chris, for always helping me and finding things and putting this show together. He's a master. I want to thank him and remind y'all, Bayou Wild, that's another one of his products, him and Don. You can call it a sister show, you call it whatever it is, but it's one of the best shows on TV. So we got a lot of competition and there are a lot of good shows. Right now, there's a lot of them been shifted to YouView. So, and this is what I'm going to tell you about the fishing report right now. So, and how you can get that fishing report. Number one, like I said, for years, I'd use it. Everybody else used it. There it is right there, the Sportsman magazine. Don't have the same owners. I ain't got all my friends over there, but I still get it every month. I still depend on it. Great magazine. Moisture and Bayou. You can find them free in the stores around there. They don't have none here right now, but Moisture Bayou is a great source. And there's nothing better than Joe Macalusa and theadvocate.com. And like I said, anytime you want to do something, you send to J. Macalusa at the Advocate. If you got something you want to put in the paper, and be sure you leave him your number. He can call you back and get more information and make sure it's coming firsthand so he don't put any junk. So that's it. But I'm talking about the news. Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the news. The Wildlife and Fisheries, their website is so full, it's just unbelievable. If you know anything, you're not a computer illiterate like me, but you can go to their website, you can find stuff about their license, about the seasons, about information on how to care or clean a deer or clean a fish. There's so much stuff on their magazine and on their website. It's just unbelievable. I'm going to push them one more time. Now, let me get into the duck report. The duck report is surprising. There's people that I normally get good duck reports, especially coming toward the end of the year. I'm talking about Ryan Lambert, and I'm talking about my other good friends over there in Slidell, Byron Briggs, Pat Morrow. I saw Pat the other day at the funeral. He's not been doing well. He said they ain't even been going. Byron said he picked up some of their decoys. They just left. They don't know where they went. They might have went up north. Now, what's really surprising is my niece. She's been hunting with her boyfriend and her family. They've been going to Kansas and killing birds. They were north. She's done got to be a tiger when it comes to hunting ducks. She said, "Oh, Uncle Gary, I'm sure having fun. I'm sure having fun. Send me pictures, too." That's another thing. Some people give me a report, don't send any pictures. Nothing better than a picture, especially when they got a pretty girl in. She is killing ducks. Church Point. Now, I ain't getting any reports, I'll tell you, from Port Barry, all them, my brother and them getting bad reports, killing 3, killing 4, not killing nothing. Duke Landry, when he'd been hunting on himself, he's not killing them the way he'd been killing. Brian Briggs said he left. Kinsley sent me this picture of her and her boyfriend, 30 ducks, a mixed bag, almost limits. Tell you what, stick with Connor because he's finding them birds. I ain't get any other report from the Southwest. All right. Mike Brantley got me a great bass report again. He still sends me those bass, sending me those speckled trout when he goes out in the evening sometime. He's fishing around the weather and the wind, the cold stuff, but he gets any chance, sunshine, he get out early in the morning, he's going to catch a limit of bass. He got the LeBron fishing with him from out of New Orleans or down in there, and he had people the other day came from Michigan, and they're coming down here. They're seeing about him and coming and fishing with him. A lot of those other captains at Island Marina, all the captains at Island Marina, they all got bait shrimp right now. The point, they all got bait shrimp. And that's what they're catching most of the bass on. They're catching them on shrimp, live shrimp under a cork. 4-horse, high water, whatever. They're using them the same thing and they're catching fish. Chess, he's catching them on jigs, spinnerbaits. You watch Chess on his website. Dockside TV. The man's amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep on saying. He reminds me, Dudley, I ain't getting any report from. I know that Captain Mike and them are all catching fish right now. So I'm having a senior moment right now in the fence. But last week I gave you a report from Pearl River. Don Hutchinson sent me his friends. He told me their name, but he didn't write it. I didn't have the name in there. But this is all his friends. Everybody talking to are fishing Pearl River. And in bass tournaments and this. And they catching, the top weights have been anywhere from 15 to 18 pounds for 5 fish. But you can look at some of these pictures and see how big they were. That's the best bass report I'm getting. I have a few reports coming from Bob Black, but what I do have from Bob Black, which is unusual, another one of my nephew, Dr. Carter Blount, went with his friends down there. Besides him complaining about how cold it was riding in their boat, it was very cold Saturday. He didn't send me a picture. He didn't take a picture. He said he tried to get warm. So I'm sorry, Uncle Gary, but they had a good kill in Bob Black. That's been off lately. It ain't been that good. I didn't get to talk about Delacroix. I heard there's a few people killing, but I'm not getting any good reports from Delacroix. Fishing in Delacroix has been good. Ryan Lambert, his fishing is good, but then again, it ain't expected like it would be. But historically, when it gets like this, the river gets high, he's back on the big redfish. The bull reds right now, they're going out and catching them big bull reds, catching some of them on top water. I got a text from him about the ducks, not good. Don't know where they left, where they went. Sometimes they got low water problems, but the river is up. You say, well, how can they have low water problems? It's the tides. Tides this time of year are always historically low. So probably the same problem they're having in Delacroix. So let me see if I got anything else. All I'm gonna tell you one more time, if you need to get the news, we got a lot of seasons that are coming to the end. I'm talking about duck season around the state, and both zones will be coming to the end, but you got conservation order, you got goose season still be coming up. Find all that information, Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries website. Let me tell all the people who are sick with the COVID, get well, especially you, John. I miss not having a report from you and your wife. Hope you're getting well. John Benoit, say your prayers, and let's ask God one more time. God bless Louisiana. See y'all next week.
Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.